Good afternoon, one and all present here. Respected dignity on the dais, distinguished speakers, Professor Dr. Borgave sir, resource person of today's session, Honorable Professor Dr. College-Pimpri sir, Principal of the College, Professor Dr. Bosle sir. Because of him, we could organize this conference with enthusiasm and huge numbers of participation in the form of research papers. Today, for this English session, we have a resource person. I am very grateful to introduce today's resource person over here, and as being the faculty member of the Department of English, Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya, Pune. We have here a resource person, Professor Dr. College-Pimpri sir, who is currently working as Professor and Head, Department of English at Red Shikshan Samstha, Dadapati Mahavidyalaya, District Nagar. Dr. Pimpri sir is a renowned scholar and academician in the field of English literature, especially Indian English literature, English novel, drama, comparative literature. He has rendered his valuable service at various colleges under Red Shikshan Samstha that include SM College, Karat, District Satara, Wasi College, and then SL College, Hadapsar. Sir, with a distinguished span of more than 25 years, Sir has actively involved in different activities. Apart from teaching, he has involved in teaching, research, publications, and wide range of academic and extension activities. His academic journey demonstrates excellence in research, mentorship, and intellectual contribution. Sir has completed BA and MA in English from Savitribai Phule University, Pune. He qualified same examination in the year 2000 conducted by Savitribai Phule University, Pune. He was awarded the degree of PhD in 2019 from University of Mumbai, and the doctoral title of his research is Structured Systematic Violence and its Archetypal Resonance in the Selected Plays of Vijay Tendulkar. His area of specialization include Indian English literature, Indian novel, Indian drama, and comparative literature. Sir is a recognized postgraduate teacher of Savitribai Phule University. Sir has completed 2 minor research projects funded respectively by UGC New Delhi and BCU Savitribai Phule University, Pune. Sir has presented more than 27 research papers at national and international conferences and seminars. Apart from that, over 33 research papers have been published in reputed journals and conference proceedings. Sir has delivered a number of talks, keynote addresses, expert lectures, and invited sessions at national and international seminars, conferences, and workshops. Sir has authored 1 book and contributed more than 5 articles to the edited books. Sir has also been actively involved in various extension activities. He has served as editor for the reputed journals and books. He has worked as a subject expert in teacher selection committee. Sir, apart from that, Sir has also worked as a NCC officer. Such an eminent scholar is with us today as a resource person for this session. Today, he will be sharing his expert insights on the theme of the role of translation in language and literature. We are truly honored to have him with us today. With these words, I once again extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you. I hope that you might have enjoyed the first sessions, and this session is also going to be very engaging, insightful, and that will be enhance your knowledge in the field of translation. Thank you very much for this introduction.
Sir, for such a graceful and informative introduction of today's speaker. We are really honored to have you with us today. Now I request Dr. Dahai sir to felicitate our chief guest, Anand Barkar sir. Dr. Dahai sir to felicitate Dr. Deepak Borgavi sir.
Come center stage.
I request Dr. Sachin sir to felicitate Dr. Deepak Borgavi sir. I again request Dr. Sachin sir to felicitate Dr. Ganesh Bhag sir. I request Sachin sir to felicitate Professor Dr. Chandrakant Kamble sir. Thank you sir, thank you very much. Now I request Professor Dr. Anand Hepalkar sir to kindly deliver his address.
A warm good afternoon to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a proud for me to speak about translation as a discipline in this national conference organized by Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya, Pimpri. It is with some introductory remarks that I would like to start my presentation. A text of any language, Marathi, Hindi or English or Urdu, whatever, when it's finished, when it is out of the hands of the author, it becomes the property of the readers. And readers may respond in their own ways to these texts. Let it be a poem or a novel or a drama or an essay even. And any response to this kind of text or these books is equally valid. Simultaneously, it then goes as a fact that such a text is free for translation. And to me, translation in P. Lal's words is a transcreation because it's at the full, let us say, authority of the translator to convert it into his own tongue. Tongue could be any language, I mean, and then such a translation is anyway something that we call as an element of contemporaneity. We call it as tatkalik sahitya or tatkalik production or tatkalik vichar, whatsoever you call it. And any such births of any book or any text is something that should be a welcome state. And in this sense, I view translation as a creation or at least transcreation. And then it's a birth of a, you can call it as a birth of a writer or death of a writer, I don't mind calling it in any of the terms, but you have an extra text, you have something added to the knowledge in that specific language when it is being transferred or when it is being, let us say, translated into any of the languages of the world. So, literature or translation of literature is something that I consider as a translation, that's my position, and should be viewed on a very positive note simply because we are all aware of the fact that any translation, any creation is something that is addition to the knowledge and it goes at par. When a book is translated, when a poem is translated, it naturally goes at par. It has no limitations of space and time, and therefore it's an addition to knowledge, and addition to knowledge is something that's the purpose of any academic exercise. and that way I view at a translation in a very positive sense. The presentation that will follow will certainly have certain debatable topics, because I have got some debatable personalities like our very own, and something that NEP has asked us to go to an Indian context. Therefore, I have entitled my presentation as translation with an Indian view, Indian perspective or Indian context. With this, I have taken up Nemade and other thinkers to delve with the idea of translation and what they have to say, especially his idea of nativism, his opposition to a kind of a distortion of the original and so on. But a conference is never a conference unless and until it raises certain questions. So my presentation will have less answers but more questions to think about or to ponder over and see translation from multiple angles. So that's a very honest attempt as a student of translation to deal with what translation is, what theorists have to say. As far as my standpoint is concerned, theories are also equally relevant. We cannot say that theories will be at all of no use in academics. No academic can work really or can go further or advance unless and until we have some theoretical base. As far as research is concerned, every academician and research scholar and supervisor will demand that your work should have a theoretical base. Otherwise, there could be only the study in Marathi or English, for example, saying Dhaneshwarancha Sahitya Samagra, which will carry absolutely no meaning, and the thesis will contain some 700 or 500 pages. This has happened sometimes in the past in the Savitribai Phule University. I'm not blaming somebody for such a research, but that research absolutely would only carry a paper of a degree, but will have no value as far as criticism is concerned. And if there is no criticism, there is no study. And criticism has to have some theoretical base. If it's there, then that study is of some worth. And therefore, I am also in a way trying to posit that translation itself is a discipline, it's an area of research, plus it itself is building into a kind of a translation theory in the contemporary times or in 20th and 21st century. So that would be some of the dimension of what I am going to present. And I was interested with this NEP coming up to us that why not have an angle to translation as far as translation theory is concerned or translation as an activity is concerned. Whether you consider translation as a product or a process, it's both. It's a process at the same time, it's a product too. Because ultimately, in sciences too, or in languages for example, whenever we have a process, it definitely entitles that there is going to be a product. There is no process, there is no product, is impossible. If there is a product, we can't say that there is no process. There is a process and therefore we have there is a product. This way, both things are intertwined. And if they are intertwined, I thought I must look at this kind of a juncture, this kind of a connectivity, and see, can we really build or see that, yes, we too have some thinkers at least, if not theorists, who have something claimable, who have something valuable to say about translation. And that has come with the revolutionary figures like J.N. Devi and Balchandra Nemani. We would say somehow controversial figures. We will say that they are eminent figures. We would say that yes, they really deserve the mention at least. And if they are not there in the presentation or a seminar, in a seminar like this on translation, then it would be something like a haphazard task, which we cannot leave it to that. Thus, I turn to my presentation and say whatever I want to say. These are my sole ideas. One may agree or may not agree. One may have many perspectives too on what I am trying to say. But this is my standpoint. You may have your own views too, or you may have your own say on that. Let's go to the first part of it. Yeah. I have called it as how translation began in India with the translation of Ramayana, Mahabharata and other kind of scriptures and so many other books in the historical times in ancient India. Some books from Sanskrit were being translated, Prakrit were also being translated into, or some English books were coming into India with translation in recent times. We will find that translation in India began with communication across cultural barriers. First of all, translation intends to break cultural barriers and tries to go close to what that particular culture adores or culture presents or culture demands. That way in India too, it began with the breaking up of the cultural barriers and reached to the West. Ramayana and Mahabharata with multiple versions by the contemporary writers, Asian or Indian, our very own indigenous translators and foreign translators, Europeans, our scriptures went to Europe. And with this, the first wave of translation began in India. It's a rendering of great epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, as I said, that went across various cultures and they got to know what are these great epics mean, as we know Iliad and Odyssey. Similar fashion, our epics too went beyond our cultural context and reached somehow to the community who was very alien and unknown to what our scriptures have to say. The resultant words are not only translations but transcreations, which I have already initiated in few minutes back, where transcreation is the original text acted with as a trigger for the language. Poets to create their own text suited to the regional substructures and languages. So it's something like it's okay, it's fine, I will manage this. So the resultant words, when it comes to translation, are not only translations in a sense, they are translations, but at the same time, the original text acts only as a trigger. This is very important point. I want to bring to notice to you that the original word is something that's I wanted to focus you on this particular word called trigger. The trigger simply means it just gives an impetus to work with the text, work with that original book and take it beyond the subcultures and languages that are different from where the work has been produced. Secondly, going ahead, we have, of course, there is a need of translation, and therefore I said, I am going to look at translation in a very positive way with some conflicting views also of modern thinkers in India. So,